the same time. It wasn't my intention to go live, but I wanted to share with you kind of how I refresh my garden pots when I get done. This is the entrance to the herb garden. I had some extra plants, and so really the herb garden, because I was doing so much last year, we made it like an herb garden and an edible flower herb garden. I still have to plant some of our calendula I have, and some more herbs like cilantro and parsley. But this is actually the entrance, and I'm going to try to swivel y'all around so that I don't mess up. So we bought these two containers. Let me see if I can move it back last season from Sam's Club, and they were actually on clearance, if you can see them. So we got like two of those. And so I just got finished planting one of the raised beds. I have one more raised bed to go. I still have some plants that I'm hardening off inside, but I actually had some extra plants. And so what I am doing right now, and again, I'm going to work and talk, is we have rosemary that kind of go in the entrance right here. And what I'm going to do, all of these are considered edible flowers, is we're going to add some flowers to this pot just because I have extra and I want to do something with them. I still have some containers that I want to fill, but I don't get. Hello, Shirley. How are you? I'm trying out your new feature with the horizontal, so let me know if you're able to see it like correctly. I guess I would say I did see the feature on here, and I think that does work a whole lot better. But I just wanted to get these containers planted up. And what I've already done is, you know that I always, when I start the season off, I like to add a little bit of slow release fertilizer. So I've already added a little bit of the garden tone. Now, when it comes to my herbs, I don't add a whole lot. I just already sprinkled a little bit right here. And then I also had some compost. And so I filled this up right here. And so I just sprinkled this around. So inside of this container, we have some compost and a little bit of slow release fertilizer. And so what I am going to like add to this, so my thought process is I actually have some, what do you call it? Kind of where you can train like a plant to be a certain shape, like if you want it like in a spear shape or in a cone shape. And I may just put this over the rosemary. We're growing rosemary all over the garden, but I just really, okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. But I just really wanted to put this right here. I've been harvesting off of this. As you can see, it's getting some new growth right here. But I had extra plants. So within this one, and these two containers will probably be totally aesthetics. And I'll still harvest the rosemary, but alyssum is actually an edible flower, but we're not going to use it for that. And then we're also going to plant some violas, and we're just going to really, I'm not really worried about the back, because normally if I do containers with an herb, I'll push the herb towards the back, but we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to put like the alyssum. This does trail just a little bit, so y'all know my formula. I always like thriller, filler, spiller. So this is the rosemary is the filler. No, the rosemary will be the thriller because it's going to get tall. The alyssum will be the spiller because it's going to spill over a little bit. And the violas that we had extra right here, they're going to be the filler. And y'all, I just came up with this off the top of my head. And so we're just going to go ahead and get them planted. And again, if you're just joining us, what I did is I added just a little bit of the slow release garden tone that you see right here. And I added the compost right here. I just have it in a container. So I just added some compost. Now, normally I will refresh all of my beds each season with this. So this is how I do. Like, I'll clear out the beds, I'll add a little bit of compost, and then I'll come in with a little slow release fertilizer. And so I'm just going to, since this is going to, and I hope y'all can see, since this is going to kind of trail a little bit, I'm gonna put it like right at the opening of the herb garden that you see right here. This is like the beginning, and we still got to plant up over here, and we got to clean up some stuff over there. But what we're going to do is just get these containers filled. We still have some more containers, but when you have extra, you know, sometimes you just got to do something with it. And so this is my way of not wasting plants. I am going to do something with them. And I always just loosen it up a little bit. These, we had a good rain the other day, y'all. So these are good and watered. I'm just gonna loosen up this, and we're just gonna dig a hole and just put it here. And you know, soil serves as that barrier. And so we're just gonna put that here because the whole point of this is gonna eventually trail over here. And so now I'm going to get my this helps me to release the plants, y'all. It's just like a Dollar Tree butter knife thing, but when I need to remove plants out of these right here, the butter knife works really good. And I'm not necessarily, I hope y'all can hear me. I'm not going to, I'm not going to feel all around. I'm really just going to feel probably up until this side because you're not really going to see the back unless you're walking up. So I'm just worried about the front as you're walking in. But if I do the other container too, and just say for instance I might have one or two left, then I'm gonna just go ahead and put it in the back. But for now, I'm gonna pack these kind of tight. Let me tell you why. These are violas, and they're kind of like a cool weather plant. Probably around June, it'll be time for them to come up. They don't like the heat. Some of them self-sow, depending on the variety. Right here, they will self-sow, but I do loosen up my roots a little bit, y'all, and I just like put it down here and use the soil as a barrier to put it like this. And we're gonna add the mulch back on where we're done, but I'm gonna put these closer than what it says, only because if you're just joining us and you're in another state, we're in Georgia zone 8A. We really have a short spring. And what I mean by that is it still may say spring on the calendar, but the temperatures feel like summer. We have a lot of things that are budding out. So probably around mid-April, 1st of May, it's literally going to feel like summer. And what the violas do when it starts to heat up and get like really hot is they will get very leggy. They'll get real leggy and they won't look good at all. So in between time, I am going to think about another edible flower that I can put and replace once I pull these out. But I want to get these out of the containers. I don't want them to stay in there. And again, I just loosen all of that up because they've been in the container. You don't want them to start wrapping around and choke it out. So that's just kind of how I do that. And I just tease this a little bit. And again, we're just going to plant it a little bit closer. I'll probably just do 3 right now. If you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button because I'm going to share with y'all the progress and the fullness of it once they start to grow. Yeah, let's do one. Let's do one more, and then we'll, over the next few weeks, probably 6 to 8 weeks, we'll see how that does. But I really need to get a lot of plants out of the containers because what can happen is the roots will start wrapping around, going up, and it can eventually, what you would call, choke out your plant. And so I don't want that to happen. These are, to me, y'all know my favorite color is purple. But I just really think that this is like a nice color. You got a little purple, a little yellow in here, and then like a darker purple. But as they grow, sometimes they can have a little color variation. And again, all of this, y'all, we just gonna loosen up. We gonna loosen this up just to let it like grow and get in here. And then we are going to, I have the straw mulch that I took off. There's nothing wrong Nothing wrong with the straw mulch, y'all. So we are going to go ahead. I always, whenever I plant, although we had a good rain to come in, I'm still going to go ahead and just water everything in good. And then we're going to put our straw mulch on. And remember, let me tell y'all this, it's some plants that I don't care if they've been living in the container this whole time. Sometimes when you put them in a space, they don't like it. And so what I'm going to do is just over the next probably 5 to 7 days, just make sure that they're adapting, okay? And making sure, that we don't have any that start to look sick. If so, I always buy extra. Even when I start seeds, y'all, I always tell you I do about 25% more than what I think I need, because I have one Snapdragon now that I planted, and it just looked like every day it wants to check out. And I'm like, you can make it, buddy. Just come on. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, this is rosemary. And what we're doing, if you just joined, I had some extra plants. And I'm like, I got to get these out of the pots. So what we did, this is the entrance to the herb garden. We still got a lot more to work on, but I just got finished planting one of the raised beds. I got a video coming out, y'all. So if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. But I have a video coming out on phase 2 of the garden. We got all 4 raised beds planted up. I got 3 raised beds of phase 1 planted up. I have to do, I love your posts. Oh, okay. If you love them, I'm going to keep them coming then. So what she's talking about, or what they're talking about, is we have a lot of community posts, and I like to put polls up just to see where everyone is, what they like. That also helps me to kind of create content for you all, create videos, but I will definitely keep them coming for you. And so we're just going to, now what I'm going to do back here, y'all, I'm just going to leave this open, because remember, when I plant up the other side, if I just got like, so it's 9 in this pack, I did 3, 6. So I have 2 left, and I do have a small pot. So I think we're just going to put it all over here. We're just going to put it all. I'm telling y'all know when I make the videos, I might start off saying one thing, and by the time it's over, I have done something totally different. But I do want y'all to see the progress uh, of these violas. I'm gonna take y'all off the tripod real quick, because I want to show you some fall planted violas that I actually soil block and planted from seed. I want you to see not only how pretty they are, but the growth. And I planted them very close together, and I'm going to show you why I do that. Like, I like for a lot of the things to look full. It's almost it's almost like a living mulch, where you don't have to put as much mulch on here when you plant it full like that. But again, this is going to be pretty. I can already tell right now, like once they start filling in and getting more flowers on here, I want y'all to just see it. This is nothing right now. I want y'all to see how full, and I also want you to see this alyssum when it starts to trail just a little bit. If you've never grown sweet alyssum, it has such a, just like a sweet fragrance, like especially when the wind blows, it just has, not like baby powder, but I don't know. It's just, I can always tell when the wind blows, and I'm by sweet alyssum. That's why I planted so many from seed this season. Now, that particular one I didn't get. I have about 12 that I started from seed, because we're going to use those in the big, we got the 3 container gardens that we plant up every season in spring, summer, and fall. And that is where a lot of the geraniums and the alyssum is going. So I just wanted to show you all that. Now, again, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do the same thing for this side over here, because these are clearance containers that we had got last year at the end of the season from Sam's Club. And so I think I might have paid no more than about $15 for each of them, and they were regularly like $49.98 a piece. And so I just happened to go to one of the Sam's that I normally don't visit, and they had them on clearance. And I just couldn't pass them up. I had no idea where I was going to put them. But I said, you know what? Let's put them at the entrance of the herb garden. And once this rosemary continues to grow, it'll be nice. Now, let me show you the violas or the pansies that we started from seed in the fall. I'm going to show you the violas, the one that is there. It's called Antique Shades. And then also some Johnny Jump Ups that we started from seed. And they survived I think we got down here in the Atlanta area to about 10 degrees, but that's just the degrees. Like some days it said it felt like 7, or, the lower degrees. So they did really good. It's some plants. This is how I'm learning a lot of the plants and what they can take, because if y'all have been following us, we moved from the Savannah area, which has a really mild winter. So a lot of these plants can't take some of the cold weather, but that's okay. But let me show you really quick, and then I'm going to get off. I'm going to jump off and get done with the other one. I do like the time change because it stays lighter longer, but it just seems like that first week that it's like time passes by so quick. So we planted these in the fall. We started as soil blocks, and I'm getting closer because I intentionally planted them very close together, because I knew that, like I said, these flowers, once it starts to heat up really quick, they just kind of get really leggy and they don't look as nice. So we started these from seed. This is the Antique Shades. And then also this is the bed that I've just planted up, and I got to get some more stuff. But in the fall, these are like the Johnny Jump Ups that we soil blocked as well. And they are, I want to say, King Henry violas right here. So those are nice as well. We still got a few fall planted snapdragons, but I do have some new ones. And we have some perennials over here, the salvia. And what I do, y'all, is I wait till the new growth comes. So the other day, what I did, all of the new growth is when they start looking like this, and then you have the dried stems that's coming up. So that's why I like perennials, is I will wait until the springtime. I know a lot of people may do it in the fall, but I'll leave like the stems that have died out, I'll leave them there. And then once they start making that new growth, as you can see, like these were, do y'all see right here? I might got to go in and clean this up just a little bit more. But the stems were looking like this, but they were really, really tall. And then, I'm sorry, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. I'm so glad that you introduced yourself. And just bear with me because we're doing this horizontal. So the comments pop up, but they don't stay up but like 2 seconds, versus the vertical, I could see it. But hopefully this will give you a little bit more coverage. I'll remember that, Andrew. And I also remember the polls too. But these are the salvias. They're really pretty. They're purple. So we have been cutting them back. And I have been just planting up. Now, this is what I'm going to have to do to this bed, y'all, because I have had this coconut core on here for maybe 3 seasons, but I can't find it again. Or let me rephrase it. I can't find it at the price I originally paid for it. And so we're going to go back to the straw mulch like we've been doing. This is a pretty one too, but y'all, I actually purchased this particular one, but we're going to go back to the straw mulch like we've been doing right here. And if you look very, very closely, we started some spinach from seed. We actually started these inside, hardened it off. It's like 2 types of spinaches, and then we put them out. And spinach likes the cooler nights, so they should be fine. But I just wanted to share this with y'all. We got one more bed. This is the last bed over here that I got to clean up and that I got to cut back. This is the spinach mustard. It's actually gone to seed right here. So we're going to clean this bed up right here, and then we're going to plant the last of the plants. We did a video of a new leafy green that we're going to try. It's the Calliards. It's a cross between collards and kale. So I think that's going to go over there. But a lot of things are starting to wake up and really come to life here in the Atlanta area. And so I'm just trying to every day, since it stays lighter longer, I'm like, you got to get out and do something. It doesn't matter as long as I just like do something so that when the season really kicks off, I'm not just like running around trying to get everything done. But I just could not let these violas sit up here and stay in this container too much longer. So I was like, let me go live really quick. This is how I do my containers. And so again, if you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, because I want to share with you the growth, like once these start to really flower. So I'm going to jump off real quick, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and plant this up. I'm just going to do it the exact same way. And then I'll give you all a tour. We'll do a separate garden tour of the herb garden. This is what I consider my herb garden. Although we plant herbs like all around the raised beds and all around the garden, but this is where I predominantly, when you see us selling our loose leaf teas, which we have on our website, when you see us selling our tea blends, this is where I am harvesting it from. Like, we grow and we harvest it. I did see something pop up about spinach, and let me tell you, for the longest, I think I just had to find that perfect temperature. Like, even when I started it inside, I did not put it on the heating mats, because spinach is a cool weather plant. It'll germinate around between 65 to 68 degrees. Now, if you want to start it like now, for us here in Georgia Zone 8A, because again, it likes those cooler nights, and then like the cooler days. But once I crack the code on that, like, don't put it on, I told myself, don't put it on the heating mat. And then, like I said, again, in the fall, once it starts to cool off, I will actually start it like outside on the patio. But I've had, once I started doing that, I've had good success with it. And we started those inside. They were still under grow lights. I didn't put humidity domes on there, and I did not put them on the heating mat. It just likes a cooler temperature in order to germinate. But once you figure out that perfect environment that it likes, I'm telling you, you'll be like a professional at doing it. So I'm going to jump off here, y'all. Let me go ahead and get this planted. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, y'all, because I know I'm always impromptu. I always say, make sure you get on our email list. Make sure you get on our text message list, because I used to be really good about scheduling them, but sometimes when I want to show you all real quick, I'll go live. So always make sure that you're subscribed to us and turn all of the notifications on, because you'll get when we go live too. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we'll talk again soon. Bye, y'all.